Hello everybody. This is gonna be a video of just me talking about what's on my mind and just yapping really. I'd like to talk about my project and the genre and a little bit about myself as well. For those that may be interested in hearing what I have to say, I appreciate it. But Primeval Horizon will be resuming its programming to a degree pretty soon here to work on stats and bug fixes, and that's pretty solid because stats are very important for the game. I mean, you need it for debuffs, buffs, and just for the game to really function. I mean, you can't exactly die if your health, doesn't go to zero, and that communicates to the game that you have to die. But we'll have that fleshed out pretty well, and then we'll move on to other milestones when we can afford them, because perks will be next, same with combat, and those rely heavily on the stats. But besides that, I've been experimenting with some more creative stuff, such as world building, with the addition of having 2 stars in the sky for Primeval Horizon solar system. So there will be times where you'll see not just a red dwarf, that the planet that Primeval Horizon takes place on, in the sky, but you'll also see a blue star that is much further away, that these stars are orbiting around each other. And I'm kind of using a universe sandbox to simulate this and to better understand more logical conditions for the world of Primeval Horizon, because just having small details that people can find out and explore can go a long way with world building. For example, let's say you may question how an Achillobator or Clusuchus can even climb a tree because of how heavy they are. And now we can just say that the planet has lower gravity than Earth, so weight isn't as much of an issue, which allows these creatures to be able to climb these trees. And that also opens up more freedom of movement for large creatures as well, without it being unrealistic. Not only that, but there also be some massive creatures that are just a part of the world, not playable, but they'll be a part of the world just for atmosphere. And at least those can make some logical sense, rather than us just slapping stuff in there and leaving it as is just because it looks cool with no explanation or anything. I like to be able to cement details of the world and its characters in the environment in a way that seems somewhat believable. Now, obviously, having a game of prehistoric creatures from these different time periods and stuff isn't exactly realistic, and you don't need to be realistic in order for a game to be fun. In fact, you probably don't want to be realistic at all, or very much, if you want a game to have fun, because people play games to escape reality. But it's nice to have realism there where it does benefit you, and having a degree of realism and logic there to cement these characters just makes them more believable, as then they are more comparable to some of the stuff that we may see in real life. And while I'm working on that, I am seeking other developers as well. We may need a marketing guy, but we need somebody to help with marketing for the game, and we may be able to find someone soon. But if you're interested, there is a link in the description for being able to apply to the team. You can just apply whatever position you want, and you can specify when you're filling out the form that you're applying for the marketing position. But yeah, we're also seeking some people to help implement audio. We are talking to someone at the moment, but in case that falls through for whatever reason, you may also apply for that if any of you are interested in that position. These positions will be mainly for revenue share or volunteer, as our funds are pretty low at this time. And I'm sure they'll raise as we progress and have more to show, as in the past we haven't had this much to show before. But now that we are progressing quite well with our programming and overall development, I feel like more people will want to support the project. And I mean, I would hope so. We have some very promising stuff, and I'm excited to continue. But if you have any other skill set that you believe would benefit Primeval Horizon, you may also apply. It's very much appreciated. Never think that your skill set may not be of use, because it may be. If you don't know, you may as well find out. It doesn't hurt to fill out the application, and we'll get back to you if we're interested. And I mean, worst case scenario, nothing happens, which is completely fine. But do let us know. We may need somebody for icons in the game and stuff as well. But it's nice to be able to just talk freely about the project, because I'm a very honest person. I'm not a fan of being disingenuous and just lying or pretending to be something I am not. And so I always strive for honesty and being genuine and being transparent with the community. You can see the feathers, they look fine and light right here. But if I go into the shadows, they get a little bit too dark. And that's because the feathering does not have finished materials. We will have the feathers with new materials sometime soon, but you know, don't want to spend upwards of like $150 on better looking feathers at the moment. We could probably adjust these current feathers so they don't do that, but getting them to look really good is a little bit expensive, and we have to make sure that we have our priorities right, or else, you know, we can't develop a game. So we'll continue focusing on programming, and with more to show from there, we can use any extra funds to make the game look better. And you can see here, compared to the other video that I've shown, that I believe the lighting may be different. This is the lighting that I set up. And not only that, but the performance is better. We managed to fix that. And oh, there's an ocean. So there's also that. Got an ocean now. I should have probably headed down there, but I'm not going to bother with that at the moment. And yeah, this is our official map. It is called Rift. It is still very early when it comes to its environments. So that's why you see just this one biome across the entire map. But we will have other biomes as well. And we'll have plenty of points of interest designed around the map as well, because we want every part of the map to have something interesting nearby. A good way of going about designing a large map like this, and something that we're going to be doing, is you want to have like at least one point of interest every like square kilometer of the map, so that there are a good amount of a point of interest. And you can see some camera clipping right there, and also there's no IK, so my body does not align to the landscape. Those are small things that haven't been added yet, and they haven't been added just because they're not really a priority. However, the camera changes are planned, so that you can actually zoom in, and so it won't you know, mesh into the landscape at times. And then later on we'll add some IK, and we'll be adding tail physics and stuff like that as well. Then let me think. We have a plan for an alien tower in the middle of the valley, somewhere over in that direction, probably over that mountain. But a big goal with this map was to have some atmospheric mountains that weren't too high to climb, and plenty of area that was relatively flat. So right now you can see this is a relatively flat area. It's a good area to traverse. And those mountains, they may seem steep, but they are not as steep as they may seem from all the way over here. You can climb up them. Unlike some other maps in this genre where if you see a mountain, you have to go all the way around it. And I'm hoping I can... Oh, I forgot. I can sit down to speed up my stamina regen, I believe. But, yeah, we got sitting. Just kind of chilling there. Just looking around. But yeah, I'm trying to head over there somewhere. Try and take a look at the ocean. And there is no get up animation at the moment. We do have a get up animation, but it's not implemented just yet. So you can see right there, I got up instantly. But I wanted to share a little bit more progress related to the project. We do have jumping, but it's not in this build that I'm playing on right now. There'll be a bunch of improvements before we release the demo on Steam. And of course, you'll be able to play around with it and offer feedback, find bugs, and we'll be able to use that to make the game even better. And we have a large vision for this game. So if you're already a fan of what we have right now, just imagine what we could have with like 10 times, something that's 10 times better than this, because we will get there eventually. This is still very early. So it's just exciting to think about what this will look like when it's done. Or not when it's done, but when it's further along. Much further along. But, you know, these things take time. They take money. A lot of money and time. And so we're working with what we have. And we will get there eventually. We are very dedicated. I remember showing off a different map in the past using our Antio and Ceratosaurus, I believe. And that had multiplayer, at least for the Ceratosaurus. It was peer-to-peer, like what we have planned for our demo. But it's going to be really cool for people to be able to hop on, join each other, and just find each other on this map. You know, run around, kill some AI, or kill each other. And, you know, be able to just thrive and get a feel of the game, even if it's super early right now. I feel like the game will change a lot in the way it feels when we add bosses and perks and stuff, because then you'll be experiencing a lot more diversity and won't be so basic anymore. And you'll be able to have experiences that will keep you wanting to play more of the game because it's fun. Yeah, we have coast right here. There's a distant island over there, which I could cross to, but as you can see here, we have an ocean. Let me make sure the FPS is going to drop here because I'm tabbed out. But let me check, make sure that there is audio. So I'm not sure if this is going to pick up the audio inside the engine. but oh well. If it doesn't, then you'll be able to experience it when the demo comes out. But you have some ocean sounds. You know, we got the same ocean that we showed before in the past with the Antio video on the old map. And then you have that island over there, which there is no swimming, but you'll obviously be able to swim over there. It's not too far. And the water is not that deep. I mean, it's deep enough for it to be a little bit scary, but it's not that crazy. You'll be able to cross over. And again, no swimming, so I'm just running along the bottom. Kind of reminds me of the very early stages of other games too. Look at that view though. It's quite nice. And I could have sworn I had time of day on. Let me check. Okay, so the time of day is going. I'm up. See if I can speed it up. There we go. Usually takes a little bit because it's set up to what it would function like in the actual game, which would take a little bit for it to become nighttime, but I worked on the lighting for quite a bit. I mean, I worked on it for, I want to say 2 years. Just playing with it, restarting, seeing what works best. And I'm pretty satisfied with the lighting we have right here. It will be improved over time still, because obviously, you know, the skybox will have to support having 2 stars. And then we want everything to have a nice aesthetic to it. We don't want it to be bland or generic and just, you know, we want something unique and something that's pretty. And I believe we can do that with some custom lighting and something that is not just aimed for realism. Because imagine being able to explore a sci-fi landscape with bioluminescent plants and all these other colorful flora, being able to climb up like big trees. Like right now, we obviously can't climb as a kilometer, but imagine being able to climb up some big trees, hanging out in them. I mean, I guess a good example would be like the Avatar films. Like, imagine their forest, but in this game. Like, that would be super pretty. That is a goal that we have with our sci-fi feel. And I'm just super excited to get that far. I just like the atmosphere you get from over here. And this is just one area of the map. Like, imagine the other views you can get from other areas of the map. And again, this biome's a little bit repetitive, but it's placeholder. This is actually I believe a Mediterranean coastal biome. And so you'll probably see this with, I don't know, coastal biomes. Right now it's just everywhere. These trees do need some more optimization. Their shaders are quite expensive, but performance is pretty decent at this time. And I'm running on a 1660 as well, which is not a strong GPU, by the way. So I think most people will probably not have an issue. But I think this is just really pretty. Gives you a little look into what we have going and what's to come. So imagine we have AI. Imagine you have other players. And you have audio implemented, so it really cements you into the environment. It's so relaxing. I'm not used to making videos where I'm just kind of yapping and running around and stuff, but I just enjoy being able to see what we have and trying to share it with everybody. I want to see what they think. And I mean, even as is, the graphics are not bad. I think the lighting does a lot of the heavy lifting, 100%. I mean, I'm kind of complimenting myself, but I am proud of the lighting. And I'm proud of the team and what they've been able to accomplish so far. Got a little camera clipping again. But this looks like an island, like a prehistoric island, doesn't it? Kind of reminds me of Jurassic Park a little bit. I can't wait. I'm being really fucking cringe, probably. Just kind of yapping and talking about this stuff. But oh, what was that? Is that a bug? I think that's something to do with the shadows and the culling. So if I look this way, it's not rendering the shadows from the mountains and stuff because they're behind me. If I look this way, then oh, I guess it fixed itself. That's odd. Well, at least it looks fine now. And this isn't even a packaged build either. I'm playing within the editor of Unreal. So this could probably run even better in a packaged build. Be a little bit more consistent. Another goal was to not have the nights too dark, because we aren't going to have any night vision, at least not any night vision that you'd typically see in these games. The night vision you'll get is you'll just be able to see at night, because everybody should be able to see at night. I don't think you should be limited to seeing only like a few feet in front of you. That seems super unfair. And having a playstyle revolve around it just means that playable is mostly viable based on a time period or at a certain time of day in a game, which I don't think is good game design. Like, for example, if we had a Kilobator be nocturnal, then it would probably be pretty weak during the day, but, you know, it'd thrive at night. But, I mean, that doesn't sound very fun, because then during the day, you're not gonna really be able to do much. I think all playable should be able to enjoy both the day and night. It's not too dark here. It's dark enough for you to probably get ambushed, but at least you can see. You can see where you're going. You can see stuff in the distance. You can still see the mountains. And the sun isn't even, or not the sun, the moon isn't even all the way rised. Not just yet. And the moon will offer even more brightness. I'm not sure where the moon is at the moment, but it's taking its time. It's probably over that hill over there. And we'll probably use some post-processing to speed up or to make the nighttime brighter and more aesthetically pleasing, but we could probably do that with, you know, the bioluminescent plants and stuff. We just haven't created them just yet, as we need an environment artist that we can afford. But there's the moon. And you can see slowly losing health because I have no water and I can't drink seawater. And there is no water or food on this map yet. It's not implemented. But when we have AI and some placeholder water sources on the map, you'll be able to find some water before you die. I'm dying pretty slow right now, so if there were water here and there on the map, I'm sure I would be able to find it and prevent myself from dying from dehydration. I mean, then you got the scent system, which is very early. You can see footprints. It's not loading in the radar look right now. It's probably bugged out. Because you can see that screen, that dirt mask. That's supposed to go away, but I guess it's not compiling. You're supposed to get a radar effect. You can see it in the previous video, but at least I can see my footprints. And you can kind of see them through the landscape a little bit too. And then we had somebody mention that they should last longer. If I hold it down, it will repeatedly do it, as you can see there. But we can make it last longer. That would be ideal. So that you only have to press it once and then it lasts for like, I don't know, let's say 5 seconds. But it'll likely receive a new iteration where it's a little bit more similar to Red Dead's Deadeye or whatever their tracking system's called. So you'll have to actually, you know, track, but we'll still keep the silhouettes and whatnot, because if somebody's, for example, trying to hide in a bush, running away from you, or just trying to hide in a bush in general, and you're near that bush, then you should be able to smell them. But we'll see if that's like unbalanced and whatnot, because that does make hiding harder. I believe if you crouch though, you cannot see their silhouette or their aura. So if you are hiding in a bush, you'll want to crouch in it. Do not sit in a bush. Do not stand in a bush. You will be seen if somebody's actively trying to look for you. And they'll see where you are inside the bush. Because I know it's a little bit frustrating when you might be in a fight and then all of a sudden your opponent just runs into a foliage dense area and you know you kind of get fucked over because of it. And so being able to track even through those kind of areas is very beneficial. I think I'll leave it off there. I honestly ranted about this game much longer than I expected. I don't regret it, but I did not expect to be talking and running around for this long. I am just kind of enjoying the views and just chilling, really. But we'll see a sunrise, and then I think I will leave it off there. I'd love to hear what people think so far, because I don't think I've shown this much of the map before, and I'm glad I can show it off now. At least, you know, a good portion of it. I skipped a little bit too far. There we go. Look, that's pretty. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. You can sit down with your friend or whoever, enjoy the sunrise. I think I'll let this play out and I will leave the video there. I appreciate you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I really hope to see some feedback. Oh, another thing, the HUD that you're seeing right now, that is not going to be that big. That actually got shrunk down in the latest build, I believe. So it won't take up about 25% of your screen. It'll be smaller than that, and you'll still be able to see what's going on there. We have the stuff, you know, color coded, and yeah, it won't be hard to see. We're just chilling here, dehydrating to death, looking at the sun. We should be getting more animations done as well. Sure. I said I'd end it there, so I will end it there. I gotta stop yapping. I appreciate having you guys, and I will catch you all later.